3, 2, 1. Boys, we are live. Pickleballers, welcome to the first episode of the Peak Pickle Pod. I'm your host, Peak Pro Eoin, and I'm joined by my PickleBros, Eric, the Stolpinator Stolp, and Turbo Timmy Whiteman. For those of you viewers who are familiar with us, you'll know this is not our first foray into the podcasting space. Stolp, why don't you tell them what's been going on since they last saw us?
Man, so good to be back, first of all. You know, since our last episode, a lot has changed. Two haircuts. I've had two haircuts.
That's two in how many months? Like
yeah,
6?
You know, we don't need to keep count of that. There's just been two. And then I also do sport glasses now. I clicked over into a new decade. I'm now 40, and so with that comes new glasses. So that's about all everyone missed.
And better line calls with those glasses, right?
No, those are still sketchy, but whatever.
Awesome. Well, also, our viewers who are familiar with us will know that we are missing the fourth musketeer of our group, Mr. Jesse Sensei Malkin. We wanted Jesse on the podcast, and we were hoping he would join us, but he has moved to another state to be closer with family. And we supported him that decision as much as we wanted him on the podcast. You know, family comes first, and pickleball's a close second.
That's right.
But family does come first.
And I guess this means that since we're all trying to move on without the sensei, that we're black belts.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Miss you, Jesse. Miss you, Pickle Bro.
What is it? The apprentices have become the masters? Is that what you say there?
I guess so.
Excellent. So also, look at this view behind us. This is brand new. Tim, can you fill our listeners in onto what exactly is going on back here?
What's going on behind us is Peak Pickleball. 24 courts at Chapel Hills Mall here in Colorado Springs. It opened up a couple weeks ago, and we're here every morning at 5 a.m. because we want to be here as often as possible because it's amazing, it's beautiful, we love this place. And Eoin, you're lucky enough to be here like all the time.
Doing pickleball full time. I am a blessed man. It's kind of absurd to. I mean, you know, we've been playing pickleball for 4 years, 6 to 10 hours a week, like psychos. We had our own podcast and everything. And when this opportunity came up, I was not going to turn it down. Stolp, what do you think of this place, though?
I don't think the visual can capture just how beautiful the courts look back here. I mean, such a unique look. It's so this building where we're in, the size, the scope, the features.
Floors.
It's 2 floors of pickleball, folks. What more can you ask? Not only that, but the ownership, the leadership here. Obviously, they're hiring. This guy.
High quality choices.
Best of the best over here. This place, man. We're so happy to be here, and it is the place to be.
It is the place to be where court size matters. And Tim, we've got 2 events coming up. You're heading up one of them. Can you talk about that just for a brief second?
Sure. This weekend we are doing the Dink for Pink, and it is for breast cancer awareness. A lot of people affected by that. I'm going to be directing it. We have some singles, men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles going on. We're going to be using pink balls.
That's so cool.
There's going to be a lot of pink shirts and skirts all over the place.
I bought some pink shorts and pink socks and pink,
beautiful.
like the tennis sweatband.
Too good.
And a lot of these people, they have never played with pink balls before or even seen pink balls.
It should look pretty good on these courts.
It should make this place look even cooler. So
and we'll have the Mount Carmel Veterans, their 3rd annual pickleball tournament over Veterans Day weekend. So for all you listeners who haven't signed up for a tournament over Veterans Day weekend, get that on the books. What, pickleball brackets?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome.
I think things are just going to be happening here all the time. Yeah. I mean, this is this month's edition. Next month's will look different, but it's just stuff happening all the time over here.
Should we embarrass our friends behind us who are drilling right now?
No, let's let them keep sucking. They need to work on their game.
Tim, real quick, who's behind us right now?
We have Ali Hazrati, upcoming awesome female player.
Super stud.
And her but steady partner, I would say, in mixed, Nick Patterson.
Nicky P.
Who is a longtime stud.
Nick, Knack, Patty Whack. They are a super team. But guys, that's a long enough intro. We got to get into what the people want to hear. What we do, what we bring is pickleball 3-0 to 5-0, right? Like, we're not pros. We're not making millions
and beyond
of
5-0.
Beyond.
Sorry, Tim.
Hey,
big deal.
Ben Johns and Lee Waters, listen to us. We have good advice, okay? But no, this is for the normal pickleball player. So Stolp, our favorite segment of all time. What is your pickleball beef?
Okay, well, just to set this up, this is a segment we do every podcast to talk about what are the things that grind our gears on the pickleball court. I know out there's a lot of different frustrations that you may see and be a part of. Feel free to leave a comment or engage with us. Let us know what your pickleball beefs are, because we are always constantly, never at a shortage for beefs. And I do have a beef since our little pause we took on the podcast. Here it is. All right, when you're playing in an outdoor setting and paddles are up, let's just, for those here local, may know John Venezia Park. That place fills up no matter any time of the day. And so there'll be 6 a.m. times where it's filled. And
8 courts.
8 courts. My beef is with people who come in threes. Look everyone's entitled to use the courts. I'm not telling them to get off, but there is some process, there is some protocol, and if you're not familiar with how it works, ask somebody that's waiting outside. Because what I see sometimes is people drilling. They're drilling, like doing 2-on-1 drills, and courts are rotating on and off, and then when people say, hey, what's the deal? You're drilling. Time to move. Your turn's to come off. They get confrontational. They say, what do you do? What do you mean we have to get off? Well, you have to follow the laws of the land. And if you're on there for a set amount of time, even if you're drilling, get the heck off the courts. Come on, people.
And if you don't know pickleball culture, that's your fault.
That's your fault. I mean, learn by asking. Just don't come and assume, right? The pickleball community's friendly, but don't come out here and just drill and expect you just to get your drilling session. Book a court, go somewhere private, or get the heck out of there.
Book
you know what
a court
I mean?
here. Book a court at Peak Pickleball.
Come on.
Hey, that was a very nice beef to open this up with.
I've seen it all too often this summer, and you know what? I mean, courts outdoors, when they fill up, just be courteous, folks. We know this. You know this. Use your brains.
Dude, that is interesting to hear, because I attribute drilling, and I'm on record as being one of the drilling haters.
Yeah.
I'm never going to drill.
Yeah.
But when I think about drillers, I think about serious pickleball players. These people don't understand the paddles up process.
Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
That's what you need
That's
to drill.
really surprising.
Drill process before you start playing,
Drill
people.
process.
That's it.
Learn the culture.
Yeah.
Turbo Timmy, what's your beef, my friend?
All right, well, this might surprise you guys, because we had a pep talk. We are all going to show up here tomorrow at 5 a.m. We're going to play some DUPR matches.
16 of us. That's pretty good.
And so I tried to prep you guys, like, look, guys, it might not go well. Like, DUPR is unpredictable. DUPR, we might get matched up with a partner that might not be the best fit for us, because, it's going to be chaotic. It's hard to predict how things are going to go. Our DUPRs, all 3 of our DUPRs could drop tomorrow morning, and we just have to walk in and out of there with a smile because we're able to play pickleball. That said, my beef is, so I'm a 5-0 now.
Oh, no. You're like a 5-1-7?
Right. So that's changed since last time we podcasted, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the 5-0 doesn't necessarily, that doesn't imply 5:00 a.m. Most 5-0s don't play at 5 a.m. I'm the only one, right? So
Yes,
I'm playing with everyone has a lower DUPR, right?
The next highest DUPR is probably like a high 4.7.
When Dylan shows up, it's 4.9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But what I run into, and again, I try to give ourselves a pep talk saying, look, don't beat yourself up. Things might not go perfectly tomorrow. And yet my beef is that too often I feel like my partner is walking on eggshells when they're playing with me. They don't want to blow it for me. And then they turn around, they play against me, and they are 5-6s.
Lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's natural. I'd probably be the same way. And I'm going to keep playing for DUPR and keep playing with who I'm playing with, because I don't have a ton of options at 5 a.m. We play with each other at 5 a.m.
Yep.
I play with whoever wants to wake up at 4 a.m. to play pickleball, right? Those are my options. But, it's frustrating. I don't know what to do about it. I don't think there's anything to do about it. But that's my beef. It's just relax. You'll be fine. You're really good, so just play like you.
Yeah, dude.
When I'm next to you.
I don't know if we can relate, because that's just 5-0 problems, we're just not at that level to really know what that's like. But I actually have seen that with you. People, I don't know, Tim. It's taken a while to learn how to play with you, and I think just the past month, two months.
You guys got something good going.
We're full stack, because here's the secret to playing with Tim out there. Let him play singles. Let him play singles. You take the line.
Just be a backboard.
Yeah. I'm a left side alpha player. I defer. We full stack with Tim on the left so he can take 90% of the balls. And that's worked out really, really well. Let you fly, and we're just trying to keep you up in the air. That's the rules.
Yeah. No, that's great. And Tim, I think the worst part of that is when they turn around and give you the business.
Oh
and
my
you're
gosh.
like, why? Where were you just
They're-
like 4 minutes
They're
ago?
freaking unbeatable when they're on the other side of the net. It's so frustrating. That's my beef. There's nothing I can do.
Heavy wears the crown. That DUPR is
Yes,
heavy.
Yeah.
That DUPR is
That's
heavy.
good call.
All right, guys, my beef. I don't think I've shared this with you yet. My beef is, and very, very few people are going to be able to relate to this. It is that I now understand the dark side of what it is to put together a pickleball facility. It has been, I've been on board with this place for about 3 months now. We've only been open 2 weeks. It has been long hours. It has been construction. It has been cleaning. It has been a lot of hurry up and waiting and marketing and being social and wanting to make everyone happy. Provide the environment, the courts, the events, the round robins, the leagues, everything that they want. And then on top of all of that, you're getting the chirpers, the nitpicky, that light could be here, or the mall window is giving you a glare. We've got mall access. We're in the Chapel Hills Mall. There's a mall right over here, and people are like, yeah, we can kind of see the light coming through there, and it's like, that's valuable, but at the same time, it just kind of eats at your soul. And I can't tell you how hard our owner, Scott Wilson, has worked, how much effort, blood, sweat, tears, literally, to get this place up and running. It is just a labor of love from him. And so just being in those optics, kind of, pulling the curtain back and seeing the dark side of it, like, I appreciate pickleball more, but this is not to be taken for granted,
100%.
Yeah, you get to see behind the curtain. We see the above the curtain, or whatever the phrase is. And from my standpoint, like, it's a beautiful place we're a part of, and you've helped open up here. So I appreciate that. Yet, hey, no complaints from me.
Yeah, glad we put together a good place. Timmy.
Yeah.
Another topic we want to discuss here is organizing play.
Ooh.
I know that you have your resume, you've already padded it quite a bit when it comes to these things, but recently I think you've taken it up a notch.
Yeah. So one of the things I love about this place is how they organize open play. I didn't like it at first, I'll be honest.
Really? Yeah, you
I wasn't
resisted.
crazy about it first.
I didn't know you liked. Okay.
I felt like it was a little bit restrictive. Like, we're gonna do things how Peak says to do it. Well, that means we have no flexibility or whatever. But here's what I love about it. Now, first of all, that hasn't been a big deal at all.
Yeah.
We show up at 5 a.m. and we have a blast. I wouldn't change anything. I love it. And I love seeing all the new people that didn't used to come to our meetups. But one of the harder things about organizing play that I ran into, and there have been a lot of complaints, is if you don't get an invite, then you're left out. And I'm stuck trying to, I love these guys. Maybe that guy over there, though, is not quite on the level that I'm trying to preserve, for everybody else. And somebody always has to be the bad guy if we're going to make sure the level is preserved, right? We're all pretty high-level players, 4 or 5 plus guys. That's pretty high level. It's a different game than what they're playing at other levels. And it's important to play up to your level and have everyone on the court with you being able to match you shot for shot, What I love about this place is there is no bad guy.
Yep.
You know who the bad guy is?
I know. Tell me. It's
DUPR.
DUPR's the bad guy.
DUPR's the bad guy. DUPR can shoulder all of that blame.
It took us
DUPR
13 minutes
care.
to get to the bad guy,
Yeah, I
DUPR.
know.
A new
We're
record.
already.
A new record.
Yeah, wow.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
was
not.
trying to extend that, but I love DUPR because DUPR doesn't care. DUPR will just be like, nope, sorry, you're not good enough. And the system here is all the levels in the morning for 5 a.m. or I guess
It's called DUPR restricted. We've got DUPR.
are there other open plays too besides 5 a.m.? I wouldn't know because I don't.
Yes,
play.
there are. We've got them DUPR restricted
Okay, yes.
as well.
They're all DUPR'd though.
They're called different things, but yes.
Right. So no one's going to complain because they just have to get better and they have to play more DUPR matches and get their DUPR up to a level where they
And
can...
to clarify, so what we have is we've got 3 open plays at 5. We got 10 courts behind us. 4 are allocated for the 4-5 plus group, 3 to the 4-0 plus, and 3 to the 3-5s. But what that really means is if you want to play in the 4-5s, you have to have a DUPR of 4.25 or better. And if you want to play in the 4.0s, you have to have a duper of 3.75 up to 4.49. And then, we've got no restrictions on that lowest category because we want, and anyone who wants to play at 5 a.m. is welcome to come in. But that's what you're saying. It's like, that's no longer you. What your duper is your duper.
Yeah, I'm not the bad guy, and it feels amazing. But what it's done, though, is it's created some interesting scenarios where we had a duper morning last week, and we dupered with a guy that was just over 4.25.
Yeah.
And now he's not. And I didn't even realize the repercussions of him losing that match.
We love you, Peyton. He gave me permission.
We love you, Peyton.
We love you, Peyton. Sorry about that, bro.
And you know what? I have no doubt that he's going to play his way right back into that.
Well,
that
his reliability score is so low too, right? Isn't it? Or he only has a handful of games, so he'll see a lot of movement with one or two more games logged.
And we've all played with him. I think we know that he's going to be up there anyway.
I told him to go find a game, win one, and go pop him back up.
And so much of that is just like, you really do have to play for duper now. Like, you have to play for duper.
Yep.
If you're not at that level, then play more and get your level up there. If you are at that level, keep proving it.
Yep.
Go out there and prove it.
Yeah.
Because if you're duper dodging, then maybe you're not where you think you belong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stolp, any thoughts on that?
I'm just the happy-go-lucky golden retriever who shows up when the ball comes out. Oh, what do you want me to play? Okay, I'm here to play. But I do agree with how it's set up, and I'm glad there's minds smarter than mine setting this play up because it does allow for high-level play day in and day out. And I do think, to your point, you've constantly got to be refreshing or keeping your duper by playing duper matches. So you either move up as you should, or move down, or whatever it may be. But if you don't have, I think the reliability score is what's more of the kicker for me rather than the number, because you got to show that you should be there, and it helps that it's set up for us. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, what is we all have reliability scores of 100, don't we?
Oh,
yeah.
Because this guy's got 600 matches. You've got 6,000 matches. So
I've got 450 or something.
Oh, nerd.
Yeah. No.
Nerd.
Yeah.
But the thing about, we can complain, and we will complain, the three of us, about duper. It has a lot of flaws. It is the well that forever gives, and there are a lot of issues with it, inconsistencies, lack of transparency. But I gotta say, since our last viewers have chimed in with us, I've warmed on it significantly. Not only because Tim, as you point out, Duper's now the bad guy, and it's this, we can pawn everything else on Duper. It's like now we have some standard, and we're pushing it, and now it's becoming more commonplace, and people shouldn't be so protective of their Duper anymore. It's like, if you're everyone right now, and here's the way I'm thinking of it, is everyone right now says my duper's not accurate. Well, when every single one of us says our duper's not accurate,
it's such an easy thing to say.
It's such an easy thing.
Easy scapegoat.
And then we all are running our own subjective metric on how
rating
good
systems.
we are.
Right.
Now, if you want to say, Ian, my duper's a 4.48. Now, some things were added with pickleball brackets integration. I don't even need to mention that because that's just how the system works. Mm-hmm. If you guys think I'm better than a 4.48, I appreciate that. But I am no longer going to be saying that because my duper is my duper. And if I want to get it up, I better play some duper matches and better win some games. And as much as irritated as I am because I've been as high as a 4.8, it's like I am going to have to toe that line. And I'm going to have to live or die by duper. Whether I like it or not, we have no standard to go by.
Yeah, my perception of duper for as long as I've been logging games, watching people move up and down, it's more right than wrong. For me, that's my simple takeaway. I'm a simple guy, and it's like I feel like duper's more right than wrong.
You know that I hate that I think you're correct.
Sorry.
I really dislike the fact you're correct.
I'm sorry about that.
Especially because we got Mr. 5'1" sitting next to us. You and I are more than
Mr.
Mr. Duper. We're more than a half point separate between us right now.
But I don't know how often they're going to keep changing their algorithm, but one thing that you can control is just get used to playing duper.
Yeah.
Dude, don't be afraid to play duper. Otherwise, it's never going to get any easier to play duper.
Right.
The more you play duper, the more you get used to it, the more you can kind of live in that stressful situation until it's not that stressful anymore.
Actually, that's something I want to piggyback on because, and you kind of already said this earlier in the show, but you said this earlier to me today. And dude, listeners, I can't tell you what a weight it took off my shoulders when you told me expect to go in and have your duper go down. Expect to lose some games because we know that expectation management is a huge component of our emotional stability or how we do things. And, you know, I've definitely had my mornings where I am, you know, pissy as all get out because
we all have.
Yeah, because things aren't going the way I want. And you're just like, Ian, we're all playing for DUPR now. We're always putting it on the line. Unless you want to be perfect, expect to lose, and it's okay. And I was like, you know what? I can still be a competitor and go out and try and win, but know that if we come away from our session tomorrow morning and I'm a 4.37, it's not that big a deal.
That's right.
It's not.
It's not.
Because you know what? It's not the last time you're going to be playing for DUPR.
Turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you retire tomorrow, which you never know.
Which I hope you don't.
I would say, too, though, to your point, is playing for DUPR, I think, is the best preparation for competition, like in tournaments, right? Because if you're gonna, even if your tournament isn't DUPR'd, you're still playing for something. Like every tournament game matters, every tournament point matters. So if you're playing for DUPR and you're just constantly comfortable with the competition that comes with that, wow, that's a lot of alliteration.
You're brilliant, bro.
I know. You know, I've been really practicing. I've been listening to some podcasts to prep for this. But if you're ready to go and DUPR helps you get there, you're going to see more success in tournaments. I'm positive on that.
Yeah, you know, it's when they say, like, and we know Tim's kind of the anti-drill man, but when you drill, you want to drill the way you plan on executing it in competition. So when I drill, I try and take it as seriously as possible, and that's just kind of what you're saying. When you play, you want to amp up the intensity as much as you can while still not being a punk, which is a fine line, I think all of us have to walk it.
Well, we're all not perfect people. We're working on it.
Oh, you want to know what else?
Me. Yeah,
well,
okay, next topic.
I was just saying, the way in which you are not perfect. This is a really, 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 really bad take from Stolp.
What?
What is the least important shot in pickleball?
Oh, dude, I have got a big take on this, and I'm I'm almost crying thinking about how happy I am to talk about this. There is a very well-known shot in pickleball that is by far the least important one.
It's actually hit every single rally. This shot is hit.
This is a part of every single rally. It starts and finishes a point. No, it doesn't finish. It starts every point. It's the serve. It's the freaking serve. Tell me that thing does not matter, because it doesn't. Let me tell you, you bring your 150-mile Andy Roddick serve in here, and guess what? I'm going to hit it over. It's not going to be perfect, probably. You might get a better, third setup off of it, potentially, but guess what you're going to do with that Andy Roddick? You're going to frickin' miss sometimes. I promise you, I've seen fireball servers out there with the best serves in the world. They are not 100%. You know who does leave the court 100%? Me, with
Cupcake.
Lollipops and snowballs, just frickin' going over that net. And guess what? Sometimes the idiots on the other side of the court miss my serve. So I've been taking data points, fellas. You guys are the nerds over here, and I'm just the guy who shows up and plays, but I've been taking some data myself. And guess what? More times than not, even on lollipops, maybe not more times than not, at least twice a morning, people mess up and say, good serve. I'm like, I didn't do anything different. Like, you idiot, you just messed up. Yeah. So I've been watching this, and then I'll watch the dudes with power serves. And yes, I will maybe hit it back, not so great. But guess what? Those dudes miss too. So here's the point, folks. Take it from me. Get the thing over. Don't worry about it. Worry about the next shot that comes after that. Worry about where you're at. All right.
Tim, we're going to get to our, least important shots or most unimportant shots, but I don't know where you fall on this. You know where I fall on this.
Yeah, so I have flip-flopped on this because Stolp has been all over the place with this take.
He really has.
What do you mean?
He's so proud of this take. And it's because he doesn't, and he'll be the first to tell you, I think he just told everybody, he doesn't have much of a serve to defend, right? So he wants everyone,
look at that face.
Go ahead.
He wants everyone to believe that he doesn't think it's important because he doesn't want to work on it because he's not a driller. And I sympathize with that. I'm not a driller either. But yeah, and it's also true. He also mentioned this, that his serve doesn't get returned a lot. And it's because people get sick of looking at it. It's coming so freaking slow.
And
it's called strategy,
you
Tim.
overhit it or hit in the neck.
Or-
There's no energy to use.
Or you're like going over your 1,000 options for returning this and you can't decide. So then you just hit it into the net because you have so long to think about it and you just never come to it.
I'll go, but you defend yourself. I'll go in a minute.
Well, first of all, dude, I've got a power serve. I just haven't shown it to you yet. All right, like
It's like a slider and pitching.
Dude, I've got that in my arsenal. I can show it every once in a while. But why would I waste my time if numbskulls like you are just going to dump it into the net? Like I don't even have to worry about.
Isn't that an argument for the serve being important though? You've decided that it works better if you just hit a softball cream puff marshmallow.
Totally.
Over the net.
Dude, I gotta
so
listen. I got a laser rocket for a right arm. All right, I gotta save my bullets from not using them on serves, but rather smashing overheads in people's faces and also in people's bodies. Like that's what I'm all about. I'm not about the serve.
But you're telling us all that you think about it and you've reached the conclusion that that's the best kind of serve for you to hit. So if it wasn't important, you wouldn't dedicate that much thought to it.
I can't believe I'm steel manning him here because I think it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. But he's not saying that you can't have a more optimal serve because you still have to hit a serve. So there's optimal and suboptimal serves. He's just saying it's not important. You can still pick an optimal version of an unimportant shot.
I don't know what any of those words mean. Just don't work on your serve, people. Just friggin' hit it over there.
Right. Here, I'm gonna just defeat you here, and here's why. The serve starts every single rally, and it is the only shot in the entire rally that you have utter control over. Every other shot after the serve, someone else has imparted something on it. It's the only shot you have full control over, so you have to take advantage of that. And if you hit a really good serve, now I would agree that you can overextend, hit them too hard, do too much. And there's guys who do that. You know, I'm still bitter they took away the chainsaw serve, which I was so good at, but we're not going to go there. When it comes, your serve can set up a really good third. Because if you hit a really good serve, their return is going to be suboptimal. And then you can decide to drive it or drop it. And guess what? That sets up your play from there. So you can either try and smash in their face from close, like you taking a dead return from the middle of the court is one of the scariest things I think anyone can experience. It just, you run up on it all this time in the world, just flip it down the middle or on the outside. It doesn't matter. Or just drop it in and we're at the kitchen line, which is where we're all supposed to be anyway. The serve sets up the third shot, and we all know the third shot is the most important shot of the rally. Therefore, the serve cannot be the least important one.
Here's what I have to say to that. I'll use a real life scenario. 0-0-2, net. I'm all mad. And the next person gets the serve, and guess what? You lose the point because you're mad. Point over.
Oh, so his point there is that there is no third shot.
Yeah, there is no shot. It starts and ends.
So you don't even get to the most important shot because you couldn't nail the least important shot.
I don't know, Ian. You do make some solid points there, but that's understanding, or that's under the assumption if you get all your serves in. And if you're focused on a good serve, you're not going to get them all in.
I think I'm above 95% right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start taking some tabs on.
We got video, baby. I'm recording everything tomorrow. It's happening.
Just mark it in. Yeah.
I'm bringing my tripod, and I'm going to go back and count data just to prove him wrong.
95%. I'll give you 75%.
75%.
That's such an insult.
Actually, I'm going to lower that.
I'm not putting that much
like
juice on him.
70%.
Like a 2-7.
Well, no, I'm going to give everybody a 70%. Tim, you're about 87%. And then the rest of the world, Ian, you're fine too, but like it's not super tough to deal with either.
You think everyone misses 7 out of 10
No,
serves?
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10.
I'm sorry, only makes 7 out of 10 serves?
Correct.
Really?
Oh, correct.
At our level?
If you're putting a power, or if you're putting some focus on your serve and you're really wanting to put...
I would love to...
Let's use
just
Banu.
stand
Let's use
by
Banu.
and
Banu's
look
our
at
best
this
server.
and take numbers.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ryan
he is.
Spradlin.
Ryan
Ryan
and
Spradlin.
Banu are
Ryan
great
Spradlin.
Spradlin's very good.
Hey, shout out to Ryan and Banu. We love you, baby. You're here. But you miss 3 out of 10 serves. You miss 3 out of 10 serves. The 3 you missed look super
they
cool
do.
because they're freaking fire rockets.
But you know what? They aced 1 out of 25.
Is that worth it?
No, but
Start
I'm saying
doing some math.
that's what they do. They put so much juice on that they get aces sometimes.
Sure. Do the math. Is that ace worth the 3 misses out of 10?
Probably not, but
Well, let's talk about Banu, for example. All right, so you have someone who's one of his best shots is the serve, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that hurts his overall game? The fact that he has so much emphasis on a good serve?
No, and I think
what makes him valuable.
I think it makes him valuable.
But
I think it makes him better.
I also think he's a peacock amongst chickens because he has a serve that others don't. Like, we're the chickens, he's the best of the best in that category. He and Spradlin have really, really difficult serves. Yep. So it's not even he's in a class of his own, but he still misses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't agree. Timmy, so let's move on from this numbskull.
I think I won that, by the way.
Audience, what do you think? Comment in the channel below.
Sure.
Timmy, what's your least important shot?
You know what? I'm going to shock everybody here.
To serve.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to take yours either. I think yours is pretty good, but it's also very optional. You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's why I say it's least important. We'll get.
That's a good interpretation then.
Sure, yeah.
But for me, I'm going to say, and this is controversial, the drive.
Dude,
but
I like where this is going.
Dude,
you have such a good one.
I do.
I like where this is going.
And it's my Achilles heel in a lot of cases because it's not necessary a lot of times. Now, sometimes if you're really good, like you have a tennis background, you've got a really good swing, you just fall in love with the drive. You just fall, I'm going to hit this thing as hard as I can. It's going to be so amazing, right?
Was that a caveman just walking there? Like, what was that?
That's how all tennis players think.
I
guarantee you that's how all tennis players think. They've never seen a shot like this before.
That's a tennis player.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but
this isn't tennis court. You don't have to look around like if there's tennis players in here.
I did look and see Nick over there. He used to be a tennis player. I think.
We don't need to talk about
Nick's
that.
played everything, dude.
But
He is. He's amazing.
you talk about serves and the accuracy or lack thereof of a good serve or a bad serve, whatever. I guarantee you, if you track drives, they are not accurate. They're not accurate. Now, sometimes you can get red hot and you just you want to keep feeding that and you want to keep going to that well because it's working for you. You're feeling it that day. You might come out the next day and make like 1 out of every 5 third shot drives. And you're just wasting those points over and over and over again.
You know who hits third drives out all the time? It's this guy.
Oh, Stolp. Yes.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't see you there.
Oh, you're just still mad about that serve.
Okay, but I'll compliment you. You've got one of the best third shot drops in the city. Like, it's just so easy to crash on. But then your drive is like the most ineffective thing ever.
Time out. Here, okay, what I've figured out about the drive, to your point, Tim, you don't have to hit a drive for a winner. I think a lot of tennis player Neanderthals just fall in love with swinging as hard as they can. You don't need to hit those things for a winner. What I've done to you, after this offline, I'm going to choke you out for saying that. But what you need to do is not worried about hitting it 1,000 miles an hour. Put a little topspin on it. Just make it low, make it in, and then work off of that. I think you can set yourself up with some drives, but you don't have to have the powerhouse drives that I think people like me sometimes strive for.
Timmy, you think even with as many points as you get and as many shake and bakes as you set up, are you saying that you're going to be a convert, that you're going to convert away from? Because, by the way, people who haven't played with Tim, he does it from the forehand side as scary as he does on the backhand side. From the forehand side, he can go up the line, up the middle, or behind you, and the same thing with the backhand. He's got 6 third shot drive options. Are you telling me you're going to move away from that?
No, I'm not telling you that. Because when I'm the guy that is facing a driver and a team that likes to shake and bake, I'm kind of scared. I think that's a really effective method of playing offensive pickleball because it's intimidating. It's just smash mouth. It takes all the strategy and thought out of it, and it's just like, I'm just gonna knock you out. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna beat you down with this straight power, right? And I'm pretty good at that when I'm on, but
it's not important enough. Like, you don't need it to win.
You don't need it to win. It's flashy, it's sexy, but you don't need it to win.
Nope.
You don't need it to win. And for example, we were just watching some Marco Polos of my brother who's playing in the Huntsman Senior Games right now. Like, as we speak, he's probably done by now. He's playing the gold medal match.
Shout out to Peter.
Crushing it today. Peter Whiteman. Let's go, baby.
And you know how he's crushing it?
Dropping
and dinking. Dropping and dinking. And he's just like, he's calm, he's collected, he's patient. And
do we know if they won?
I don't know yet. But
they were 6-0.
Are you any of those things when you're driving? Are you calm, collected, or patient? No. You're trying to get like cheap, easy points. And what if you're not on that day? Then you're going to be super frustrated and erratic and nervous and rushing everything.
I like this take. I like this take, actually. I really
I do too.
Yeah, and I'm not ballsy enough to. Sorry, I'm not gutsy enough to stick by this because I fall in love with the drive like any other Neanderthal tennis player.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that if I were a smarter person, I would be dropping like all the time.
Do you know I sometimes bait you into driving on purpose to get?
How do you do that?
Well, with that awesome serve of yours.
No, not off the surface. Oh, ha. You guys, these guys over here. No. I'll hit my return to you with some loft to get you super excited. And like, it doesn't always work, but sometimes you dump it into the net. I like that.
Oh, it's hilarious. If you just stop and pay attention to how many people miss those third shots that are just in the middle of the court, sitters, easy shots, and I'm going to kill this thing.
There's no energy to use on the ball. They're not.
No,
giving
and you're
you
too close.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit it out. And the shot there to do is a simple drop. You're right there. You're almost to the kitchen line. Don't get greedy.
Yeah.
Just drop it over
Get up to the
net.
kitchen line and play the game.
Yeah,
you're neutral.
You're already there.
You're there.
Just drop it.
Best advice I can give anybody is go against your better instincts and do the right thing. Like don't
100%.
don't fall into the temptation to do what you think is right. It's wrong. Do the other thing.
You should just make a soundtrack where people can they'll put their headphones in. I'll just be like, stop
Stop.
playing
Don't
like
do
an
that.
idiot.
Drop it.
Don't do it.
Don't
Drop
be
it.
an Neanderthal.
Don't do it.
All right, boys. The most uncontroversial, shot of this selection, I would say, I think the lob is without question the least important shot of the rally.
Never been lobbed. Don't know what you're talking about.
Stolp's
This
never seen
again.
a lob.
Oh, wait.
This
One
again.
time, Mike McGregor got me one time.
Okay. Well,
But-
Why does Mike McGregor get the shout out?
Well,
I
seriously.
have lobbed you
How
before.
does
No.
Mike get you?
Well, there is a lot of controversy behind this take because I think it was out, but like my partner called it in, but he wasn't really paying attention.
He's always got an asterisk to throw on that, bro.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Anyways,
No,
unlobbable.
but I think I don't find the lob to be a viable shot unless your name is Richard Brown, who somehow is like.
I was about to say,
Crafty.
Richard's never going to listen to our podcast again.
Crafty.
No. Richard is like made some sort of like agreement with the universe that like every shot, every lob he throws up has to be perfect. It's 60 feet high. It lands 6 inches from the baseline. It's really spinny and weird, and he does it just by flicking his wrist. Like he's the only one who can do it. But after that, it's like it's not viable in the rally. More than half of them get smashed back in your face, or they're out of bounds. Right? I hate it as an option. I even hate it as a defensive option. Just like try and hit a drop to the center. Like if you're getting shoveled back, just hit a drop to the center of the court, the kitchen, and hope your partner can crash. I hate the lob. I hope that's coming through as well. But I don't find it a viable or important shot to have in your arsenal.
I
don't either.
I don't either. I think it's an up generation shot, meaning.
An old person shot?
I didn't say that, dude.
a
Unbelievable.
geriatric
Did you
shot?
hear what that guy said? No, I said up
Basically
generation.
exactly what you said.
No. No, I just said up generation.
We got to rip so many of our listeners.
Dude, I'm pretty young, I'm spring chicken out here. So anyways.
You're 40 now, bro. You wear glasses.
That's true. We've determined that. I'm a young 40 though, Anyways, the lob, I agree. I'm with you. It's not the least important because it's optional, and the option should be never to do it.
That's true. Now,
okay.
I will say this. When I played in Georgia, there's a guy that I played with all the time. In Georgia, we talked about Colorado being hard mode. Maybe that has something to do with it because I have not seen this since. This guy's name was Max. He was a...
Shout out, Max.
What was your term for older people?
Up generation.
He was up generational. Yeah. And what he would do is he would dink with you. I mean, he was a high-level player. He would dink with you, and then all of a sudden, with a flick of the wrist, that ball would be over your head and gone, top spin, low. You couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't chase it down. It happened before you realized it. And I have not seen that since. That's a lob. That's a kitchen lob.
Yeah,
That's
that's
an
the time to
offensive
do it,
kitchen
yep.
lob. And I don't see that very much. I don't know why people don't do it.
Yeah, that one full moon where Mike McGregor got me that one time.
That was a catch and lob.
It was still.
The ball was out.
Yeah. Totally out. He was also in the, he took it on a volley and he was in the kitchen. So, it was foot fault. We didn't call him on it because it was rec play. However, it was that same flick of the wrist from the kitchen. Got in.
I think there's room for that shot, and I don't see it very often around here. I don't know why, because it's deadly when worked on. I'm not going to drill it. I'm not saying I'm going to drill anything, but I think that it would make sense to mix some of those in.
I don't know if this actually defends Stolp's original serve point or not, but what we've name dropped Richard and Max, and that's it, right?
Steve Strahler's got a good one.
Okay,
Strahler
sure,
does
but
it,
in the same way that we mentioned Banu.
He does have a good one. You're right.
Yeah, in the same way we mentioned Banu and Ryan, it's like you can always pull out
the peacocks and the chickens.
Yeah, the exceptions to these rules, but I don't think they make the rule.
Yeah, right.
The rule is the lob is a bad shot. The rule is the serve is very important for the rally.
My favorite thing in the world is people who listen out there that counter that take. They're like, I'm going to show you the lob's the best until they try it and get their throat smashed in. That's the best. So keep trying to lob us. It's not going to work.
And both of you use that stupid cheater paddle gearbox nonsense, which just makes the ball go a million miles an hour.
Why do we got to attack gearbox right
Yeah,
here
that's
now?
not on our outline here.
That's not even...
That's not mentioned in this.
That's always living right here in my heart spot. Like
You're the one that turned us onto that paddle.
I'm sorry I'm a junkie. I didn't know you guys were going to take to it so well. Both of you already hit so hard.
Well, you're the only one that does homework on paddles.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't we listen to you?
This guy's got 47 paddles, of which he hates all of them.
32, thank you.
Oh, wow.
I'm not that rich. We already, because we can't help ourselves, we've already talked about DUPR, but I kind of want to circle back around to it. Is it a reliable system? Because we've already kind of made a case for it in this episode right now, talking about it.
I didn't read the outline very closely. I guess I was supposed to talk about strategies with organizing games, but I just kept
Bro, that was like
gravitating
20
to
minutes
DUPR.
ago.
I do all this work,
Unbelievable.
and you guys just like...
Why
just
say
don't
you
even-
guys?
No, that's cool. Let's talk about DUPR again.
Did you read my outline?
Oh, of course.
I don't believe it.
What do you mean? I totally did.
Timmy, do we actually think it's reliable? Should we be using it?
Yes. Because
Because
the reason I say
reliability
that-
and I have a take. There's reliability and accuracy. So keep going, but there's a difference there.
okay, you'll have to explain the difference. But here's what I would say is if I see 4 players that I don't know and I just see their DUPRs and I'm trying to predict, I bet you this team's going to win like 11-8. It's amazing how often that prediction comes true.
What do you want me to say?
No.
What do you think? If it's reliable?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm a DUPR supporter. I believe in it. I do believe in it. And the thing that I will drill into is matches played or games played or whatever, and I'll look into historical partnerships. I'll look at historical matchups. And if I know those people and see those results, I mean, like I said earlier, it's right more than it's wrong.
Yeah. No, and I don't disagree with that. I just got my provisional DUPR certification, so any non-rated people, I can actually spend time with them, give them a rating. But I think there's reliability and there's accuracy. So the reliability is this. We know DUPR has an algorithm. We know that if this DUPR number and this DUPR number partner against this DUPR number and this DUPR number, and the score is this, and they play this many times, and all this, it's just math. It's reliable. We know what it's going to spit out, but it's not necessarily accurate. Just before we started the pod, we had one of our buddies, Daniel Adsit, who is an absolute phenom. He's just so good. He's like a 4.31. That's one of the most egregious DUPR.
How many games does he have logged in there?
He's got I think he's only got like a 17 on reliability or something. He doesn't have a lot. But the point remains, it is not accurate reflection of how that guy balls out, right? Just as in the sense of you definitely can find people who are greatly overinflated. Again, that's just by our opinions, because I've already gone by the fact of we need to toe the DUPR line, we need to toe the standard. Even if it's imperfect, we have nothing else. But I still, that's the con of it. That's the negative to it that still always kind of just pulls at me. It's that it's not accurate. It's reliable. It's the most reliable thing we have. Therefore, I will support it. I will use it. All of it. I wish there were a way for us to be more accurate about it.
I think we're at the point where we have to accept it as, all of us. Oh, I play pickleball to a stranger. Oh yeah, how good are you?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, my DUPR's this.
Didn't you say you went to Florida on a business trip one time, and like someone found out you played pickleball?
Yeah, and then instantly we're like phone checking, like, okay, you know what pickleball is. You're right. Yeah, your DUPR checks out. But it's honestly the rating system that everybody uses, and it's easily accessible.
It's on everyone's phone. It's free.
It changes on an instant when you log a game. I don't know. There's just no way around it. It's not. It is the truth.
Yep. Love it, guys.
I don't even remember pickleball before DUPR.
Oh man, it's like when you were a child. It's like when you were a child with no responsibilities or bills. Now it's like you're an adult with bills.
It's like
That's
the local
what DUPR
tournament was like the big thing.
Yeah, another time we need to talk about the days before DUPR, because I remember when Jared Benar introduced me to pickleball, and it was just pure fun. It was nothing but trying to compete and have fun. I didn't know anything. I was terrible. But we need to reminisce back on those days another time.
Nostalgia.
Any other final thoughts, gents, before we close this thing out?
Oh man, happy to be back. Wasn't this fun?
Yeah.
I mean, we get to, and we're in person. We're locking eyes. I'm getting mad at Eoin in real time.
He's gonna choke me out in a second.
Yeah. We can actually get physical with each other now.
This
is great.
This just feels like right. The universe is right. The U in DUPR stands for universe is right again.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, thank you to Peak Pickleball for sponsoring us, hosting us. Thank you to Scott Wilson for giving us this opportunity.
Thanks, Scott.
All the equipment. Scott, you are the man.
Thanks,
we are
Scott.
so grateful to you. Before we get out of here, I do want to mention we're running a special Peak Pickleball membership promo. It's unlimited weekday membership. So basically, it's $29 a month, and you have free access, so no hourly court fees from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's like kind of like a pickleball happy hour, but like midday happy hour. So Colorado Springs people who check this out, sign up for $29 monthly dues, and if you come in 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., you're not paying anything else, and you've got full access to everything else we host in those times. So anything outside those windows is still the normal membership payment structure, but that is a heck of a deal, and that is only going through October 31st. So I've got to throw that out there because that is going away, and I promise you it is never going to come back once it's gone. But guys, here we go. This was fun.
This was great.
This was awesome.
This was great.
Great to be back.
We love you all. Stay safe. Stay out of the kitchen, and go give them heaven.